So my man, Mr. Ross Carlos, aka TLTG Reviews, reached out to me, asked me was I up to doing a tag video. Hell yeah. Intro. So my man, Mr. Carlos, was tagged by Mr. Sam Broom to do a tag video, 10 blind buy fragrances that actually worked out. So let's just hop right into it. So I do have two honorable mentions for the fact that Sam tagged Ross and Ross tagged me. So the first one, this is a blind buy. This is a blind buy strictly off of Sam's review, and this is Fan de Fendi Aqua. Now, Fan de Fendi Aqua, I'm loving this. One thing I didn't notice until after I bought it is why I was gonna love it. This to me is not the same, exact same as Dior Homme Sport, but is very, very similar. Same perfumer, Francois Damachi, whatever his last name is, perfumed this with, in conjunction with a few other perfumers. But this right here, you definitely get, some marine notes. It gets you in the same ballpark as a Dior Homme Sport, except a lot cheaper, more affordable. But the quality in this doesn't seem cheap at all. This right here is this is beautiful. This is definitely a blind buy fragrance that actually worked out for me. So honorable mention number one, due to my man, Mr. Sam Broom, Fan de Fendi Aqua. And from my man, Mr. Carlos, I just love this one. Ever since he talked about it, I had scooped it up, like probably during his video of it, but Eternity Aqua from Calvin Klein. This one right here, this has just become one of my favorite out the shower scents, and during the summer, just something that's extremely refreshing. I mean, just like, I'm not gonna say cucumber, but has this melon type of vibe that reminds me of I hate to say it, but a better version of Ralph Lauren's Polo Blue. I shouldn't say better version, but to me this lasts a little bit longer on my skin, maybe a half an hour or hour more. But this is just something that, once again, a blind buy, just actually working. This Eternity Aqua off of Mr. Carlos' recommendation. So let's get into this top 10 or 11. Coming in at the 11th spot from the house of Bentley, and this is Bentley Infinity Rush White Edition. I did do a review of this almost a year ago, and then I seen my man Mr. Sam Broom once again a few months later did his review of this. This right here is one of, I'm not gonna say one of the best because I haven't smelled all of them, but this is a very good designer rose fragrance that puts me in the mindset of maybe Lacoste Blanc L1212. Same wheelhouse as L'Homme Ultime, except the rose is definitely different. This one here, I would say, is a little bit more jammy, a little bit more powdery. But I mean, the first day I seen this on, I believe, Fragrance X, I was just looking at the note breakdown that they give, their write-up, how Fragrance X does for most of their fragrances, and I was like, well, this is one that I want. So I just blind bought it, never had a sample. It wasn't too many reviews out at that time of this, so I just bought it, and lo and behold, this is definitely a blind buy fragrance that actually worked especially on my skin. Performance, not too bad, around the 6.5 hour mark, but it's just really that opening in the beginning of the mid to dry down that caught my eye, and I love how it smells off my skin and in the air around me. So I believe at the 11th spot from the house of Bentley, Infinity Rush White Edition. Next on the list at number 10, this is generally never ever spoke about. This is from the Privé line of YSL, and this is Trench. Now here with Trench, I love Iris, so I mean I didn't have a problem blind buying it, other than for the fact that, you know, these is definitely not the most it's not the most expensive, but it's definitely not inexpensive at all. But what got me is that, you know, the Iris, and just reading, you know, the little byline on the YSL website, they said it was definitely, you know, had a very fresh citrus opening, which sprayer is beautiful, which it does. It's like this orange, bergamot, neroli. This definitely gives me orange vibes at the top before the makeup Iris come in. Since I don't wear my O for Men Christian Dior too much now, for the fact that I had to sit it down, for the fact my bottle was getting really, you know, scarce. This is just basically taking the place when I want to wear a bright Iris fragrance, you know, for the hotter months, spring and summer. Definitely could wear it in the office, type of vibe as well. So coming in at number 10 from the house of YSL, this is Trench, which has basically taken over for my Dior Homme O for Men. Coming in at the 9 spot from the Less Infusions line, this is Prada Mandarin. Another blind buy that actually works. I love my Mandarin orange fragrances. My favorite one is a Rancia di Capri from Acqua di Parma, but it just doesn't last. So I'm out there trying to find another realistic orange bergamot, orange blossom neroli fragrance that, you know, that's just going to last, but also have, you know, a very or highly realistic opening. This one, very close to it. And the good thing about this is this generally lasts on my skin anywhere between 4.5 to 5 hours, which for a orange or citrus dominated fragrance, you know, that works up my alley, and it smells so good I have no problem reapplying this. So 9th spot, Prada Mandarin from the Less Infusions line. Coming in at the 8th spot from the house of Salvatore Ferragamo, their Tuscan Soul line, and this is La Comedia. Now I blind bought this just due to the write-up that was on Fragrance X, or was it, yeah, Fragrance X, just to, you know, get it in the mail, put it on my Instagram, and everybody told me Chad from A Gentleman's Journey 77 did a review on it, so I should have, you know, looked, you know, for reviews before I bought it. But lo and behold, another blind buy fragrance that actually worked. This one here is like, is teetering on being like a gourmand. It puts me in the same wheelhouse as a Fève Délicieuse, but not quite as gourmandish or dark. This one right here is like a gourmand for like the spring and summer times. For me, summer nights. You can wear this, I would say, in hotter weather or high heat weather, as opposed to Noir Extreme from Tom Ford, or Fève Délicieuse, or even Al Contrario from Tiziana Terenzi right here. This one definitely blew my mind. I should have done a review on this, but soon come. But for this number 8 spot from the Tuscan Soul line of Salvatore Ferragamo, this is La Comedia. Coming in at the number 7 spot from blind buy fragrances that actually work, it's from the house of Dior, and this is Higher Energy. Now I'm not sure why this is not here in the US. I'm not sure, but they can definitely put this back in the market. This is beautiful. It's like pear, I'm not going to say cardamom. It's something spicy but sweet in here. So if it's not cardamom, maybe nutmeg or something like that. But The opening and dry down is beautiful on this. The late dry down, I'm not going to say is generic, but I mean, it does its job. But this is just, I'm loving this fragrance. And as you see from the levels on it, I've definitely been wearing this. And I got this back in the fall and winter time. So now that is the summertime, spring and summertime, I can't wait to wear this. So for that number 7 spot from the House of Dior, Higher Energy. Come on, camera. There we go. Coming in at the number 6 spot. This is from a house I've never heard of. I just, you know, every so often I go look at the new arrivals on Fragrance X page, and I just seen this, and I looked at the note breakdown and said it had tea, bergamot, some spices. I think it may be one floral on here. And I was like, you know what? I'll just pull the trigger on it. And this is from Atelier d'Artiste by, I'm just gonna put it up here to see if my camera will catch it. It's kind of dark, but by Alexandra J, and this is J5 right here. Love this bottle, the Japanese artwork on this bottle. But this fragrance right here, definitely to me, a blind buy gone right. This is what Guerlain Tesora from the Aqua Allegoria line should have been. I mean, it's just, I mean, it's very extremely similar, except performance on this is a lot better. You can get around 6.5 hours, at least on my skin, before, you know, it becomes a drastic skin scent. But this right here is just beautiful. And that tea note, it's so damn calming and relaxing. I'm not sure if it's mate tea or what type of tea in this, but the tea note in this is just extremely relaxing. So now on the Sundays, I don't want to, you know, keep wearing Guerlain's Tesora. I'll put on this J5 from Atelier d'Artiste. So this is coming in at my number 6 spot. Coming in at the number 5 spot for blind buys that actually worked. From the House of Chanel, that is Le Lion. This one, I knew it was coming out the first day Chanel put it on their website. I bought it. Right here, actually worked out for me because I like Ombre Sultan. People say it reminds them of Shalimar. I have Shalimar, but I don't get that resemblance. But Ombre Sultan and a lot of other ambers out there, yes, but it has its own twist just due to the bright, either lemon or bergamot at the top. Has a leather with this, also powdery. Citrus, leather, powdery, amber. If you love amber fragrances and you want to stray away from the normal ones, I definitely could suggest this, but this may not be for everybody, but it's definitely for me. And I always wear this going to Macy's because the sales associates in the Chanel section be tight when I wear this, and I show them what it is. Oh, we don't sell that here. No shit. Of course you don't sell it here. But yes, this right here on my number 5 spot, Chanel Le Lion, another blind buy that actually worked. So coming in at the 4th spot is a tie between pretty much my favorite house so far of 2021. Newly discovered houses, and that's from the House of Les Indombles. I hope I'm saying it right. First one I'm gonna talk about is Chypre Azzurro. This one right here, and Musk de Sables. Now with the Chypre Azzurro, this is one extremely realistic citrus at the top. So, I mean, if I want to be a betting man, definitely bergamot, orange, petitgrain, orange blossom, neroli, everything that got to do with orange in this. I mean, because this, I mean, the orange opening is so realistic, but the thing is, this thing actually lasts. I mean, I mean, this is on my skin at least 7 hours. And It projects fairly well for the first hour, hour and a half. It does become a skin scent around the 3.5 hour mark, but it's still, you know, other people's noses can still catch on to this. And I have gotten a few compliments. And for this to be a late 2020, 2021 acquisition, I've definitely been burning through it. And then with Musk de Sables right here, one of the best sweet musk I've had in my collection. I do have a sample of Ex Nihilo's musk, which is comparable, but I believe this one just lasts a little bit longer right here. So coming in at the 4th spot, from the house of Les Indombles, Chypre Azuro, and Musk de Sables. Coming in at the 3rd spot, from the house of Fragrance Dubois, and this is one of my favorite pickups of 2020. This is New York 5th Avenue. This has just happened to be the flag bottle. If it's going to catch it. Okay, it finally caught it. This one right here, I'm starting to love rose fragrances, and this one did rose right. Love that atomizer. So this is rose, citrus, caramel, violet that I get. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of other notes, but the violet, caramel, the citrus, and the rose, especially a sweet jammy rose, is definitely apparent with this selection right here. And this one right here, this lasts on my skin about maybe 6.5 hours. If I do a lot more sprays, I can get it to go a full day. But this one right here is just beautiful. This has been my new date night king. So move over La Nuit de L'Homme, because I have been wearing this a lot more. So coming in at the 3rd spot of blind buy fragrances that actually worked, from the house of Fragrance Dubois, that is New York 5th Avenue. Coming in at the 2nd spot, it's from my man Uncle Serge Lutens, and this is one that don't too many people talk about. I don't know if there's been any reviews on this. I didn't even look it up. Once again, I go on Fragrance X or Fragrance Net, look at the look at the new arrivals at that point in time. If there's a write-up of ingredients that's in there or notes that's being used, if it looks good to me, I usually purchase it. And this is Vetiver Oriental. Okay, it's not going to show up. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. But with this Vetiver Oriental right here, I'm starting to, you know, become more accustomed and liking vetiver fragrances. And this one is just, it's different, but it's the same as some of other ones, but it's just so different for the fact this rooty green vetiver, earthy vetiver, mixed with this cacao chocolate note, mixed with, I couldn't tell you what type of fruit or citrus. I could say bergamot, because 90% of them is with bergamot, but this one right here is just like off in the air and off my skin. Just worked wonders. I had no regrets blind buying this. I just believe that this is just a great, especially for the fall, spring. I wouldn't want to wear it on too of a hot day. I'm going to try it, but just generally anywhere between 40 degrees and maybe 65, 70, I could see myself wearing this. So at the number 2 spot from the house of Serge Lutens, that is Vetiver Oriental. And coming in at the number 1 spot for blind buys that actually worked, this has been one of my favorite blind buys of 2021, and it's from, I'm not going to say an unknown house, it's just not spoke on too much, and it's the house of Carthusia, and this is Carthusia Mediterraneo EDP. This one right here, just, I was on Lucky Scent one day just looking at, I just wanted to get a niche fragrance under $100, and the whole Carthusia line came up. Just looking at the write-ups that Lucky Scent had on the Carthusia line, this one seemed the most appealing, so I pulled the trigger, and lo and behold, the citrus opening, fruity opening. It's just something to die for to me, or something to live for. Like, the opening on this is one of the best openings I've smelled in all of perfumery out of my collection. And I'm pretty much definitely over 200, but this one right here, just the opening grabbed me. Performance is not too bad at all. This one is just like, man, if I can get, out the country and just walk on somebody's sea coast, sea line, ocean side, just button up, unbuttoned, sleeves rolled out, got on some some flip-flops or some sandals. This is what I would want to wear when I'm just like, say like if I was at the Amalfi Coast, just walking the ocean line. This is what I would want to wear. And I just got it, so it's not too much of a dent in it yet, but it will be. So for my number one blind buy of 2021 so far, of that actually worked, from the House of Cthusia, and that is Mediterraneo EDP. So since this was a tag video, let's see who I'm gonna tag. I mentioned Chad from a Gentleman's Journey 77. So tag you're in this. My man from Equality Fragrances 24. Tag you're in this. My man DeAndre, Thread Designs. Get on this. And this video is 10 blind buy fragrances that actually worked. Ross, thank you very much for tagging me in this. It's been a while since, actually 2 months since I dropped my last video, so it was time for me to come off the bench and make an appearance anyway. To the next time, let's grow and evolve together. In this book of life, turn to the page of styles. Y'all be blessed and walk in peace.